Hey VC, what's going on? This is Will here, and it is hard to believe, but it is almost the end of the year. And that means it is time to start sharing some of our favorite albums of 2014. So I came up with my own list. Just to keep it simple, I just listed my top 3 albums of 2014. But before I go into those, I wanted to share my list of honorable mentions. And those are Jenny Lewis with The Voyager, Ty Segall with Manipulator, and J Mascis with Tied to a Star. All 3 great albums that didn't make it to my top 3 of the year. And overall, it sounds like a great year for solo artists, especially solo artists that used to play in big bands like Jenny Lewis that used to play for Rilo Kiley, and of course J Mascis that used to play for Dinosaur Jr. And I think Ty Segall used to play for several other bands as well. But it is good to see that those guys are still out there playing great music and putting out great albums for all their fans. Now let's dive into my top 3 albums of 2014. And in number 3, we got one of my favorite albums, favorite bands of all times that was releasing their first album in over 10 years. Of course, I'm talking about the Muffs. You probably heard me talk about the Muffs before, but they released a great album called Whoop-De-Doo. This is on Burger Records. And this is a fantastic pop punk. It's a lot of glare. Let me see if I can get rid of it. It's a fantastic pop punk album, and that's Kim Shattuck on vocals. You might know her. She used to play temporarily on the Pixies early this year. And it is what you would expect from a great pop punk band like the Muffs. A lot of great and catchy pop punk songs. And my favorite of the record has got to be Up and Down Around. It's just a great and very, very catchy song. Great album. This is my number 3 of the year with the Muffs with the Whoop-De-Doo. And in number 2, we get, I don't have this on vinyl, I only have it on CD, but it is Saint Vincent with her self-titled album. This album is really, 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 really good as well. It is very hard to categorize and very hard to describe it. The best way that I figured out how to describe it was alternative rock / electronic / pop / jazz. It is that complicated to describe, and she definitely gets a lot of extra points for the innovation. Her music is very unique, and she has a very beautiful voice, and it is really fun also to see her just rock out to some of her songs, because she also happens to be a very talented guitar player. And in some songs like Huey Newton and Regret, she just plays the guitar like almost like Jimi Hendrix. She just rocks out like crazy, and it sounds great, and her vocals are amazing. It ends up being a great album. 2 other great songs from this album are Birth in Reverse and Digital Witness. Of course, I think that those were the singles from the album. That's my number 2, Saint Vincent with the self-titled album. And in number 1, it is a band or an album that got a lot of mixed reviews at its best earlier this year. But it also happens to be one of my favorite bands and by far my favorite album of the year. And I'm talking about the Pixies with Indy Cindy. And I know that a lot of people were giving a lot of bad reviews or mixed reviews on this album, but I do think that this is the best album of the year. It has a lot of good songs, and like in every other Pixies album, you're gonna have to listen to it several times in order to be able to really enjoy it and to realize how good this music is. And like in every other Pixies album, it has everything that you would expect from the Pixies. It has a lot of really hard rocking songs like What Goes Boom, Bag Boy, Blue Eyed Hexa, very loud, a lot of distortion and other songs. What made the Pixies really famous for. And you also get some really slower and mellower songs like Andro Queen, that happens just to be a very beautiful ballad, and Magdalena 318 and Silver Snail. That's great, really slow, mellow songs. But you also get a lot of really radio-friendly songs and really poppy and catchy songs that I'm really surprised that didn't make it to the radio very much, which are Greens and Blues and Indy Cindy. Those 2 songs were stuck in my head basically for almost the entire year. And that's why I think that the Pixies had the best album of 2014. I really believe that we're gonna look back 10 years from now into this album, and we're gonna say, oh man, this album was so underrated. It just takes a lot of listen to it to be able to really enjoy it. And of course, this is the Record Store Day release from back in April of this year, and the packaging is amazing. They definitely get extra points for the packaging besides of the music. This is a double LP. It's a heavy package. It came with an extra 7-inch, single-sided 7-inch, with the custom inner sleeves, heavy discs. This is the second LP, and a nice gatefold. Amazing packaging by the Pixies. I recently found out that the Pixies were nominated for a Grammy for Best Packaging. Funny enough, they didn't get nominated for their music, but they definitely got at least the nomination for the packaging, which I was happy to hear. At least they got that. But anyways, that's my list of my top 3 albums of 2014, and I wanted to wrap this video up like usual with the question of the day. And the question, of course, is what is your favorite album of 2014? And if you want, you can also give your list, or I know that a lot of people are already posting videos with their favorite albums or the list of the favorite albums. Of course, you already answered the question, but feel free to answer here in the comments. I would like to see the response, or if you agree or not with my top 3 list. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good time off. I know that everybody's going through the holidays nowadays, so I hope everybody's in the VC is having a good time, and take care, VC. Bye.